Title: Why do onions make you cry? The chemistry inside every slice. Almost everyone has experienced it. You slice into an onion, and within seconds your eyes begin to sting. Tears roll down your face, even though nothing emotional has happened. Somehow, a quiet vegetable sitting on a kitchen counter has made your body react as if it's under attack. But here's the strange part. A whole onion doesn't bother you at all. It's only when the knife cuts through it that the invisible assault begins. Why would a harmless plant suddenly release something that makes nearly every human cry? Is it just a strong smell? Is it an acid? Or is the onion doing exactly what it evolved to do? The answer turns out to be far more remarkable than most people realize. Every slice activates a tiny chemical factory that didn't even exist a second earlier. Inside an intact onion, thousands of tiny cells are packed together like rooms in a carefully designed building. Each room stores different chemicals separated from one another by delicate cell walls. As long as those walls remain unbroken, nothing unusual happens. The onion is perfectly stable. Then the knife arrives. With every cut, millions of cells burst open at once. Ingredients that were never meant to meet suddenly mix together. It's like smashing open dozens of locked containers and letting their contents flow into the same space. Almost instantly, a series of chemical reactions begins. For many years, scientists believed they knew exactly what happened next. They identified an enzyme called a lionase, which reacts with sulfur-containing compounds naturally stored inside the onion. The theory seemed convincing. Break the cells, activate a lionase, and somehow your eyes start watering. But there was a problem. The chemistry didn't quite add up. The compounds produced by a lionase couldn't fully explain the mysterious gas responsible for onion tears. Something was missing from the story. For decades, researchers searched for the missing piece. Then, in 2002, they finally found it. Scientists discovered another enzyme hidden inside the onion that had escaped notice for years. It was called lachrymatory factor synthase, or simply LFS. That discovery completely changed our understanding of why onions make us cry. Here's what actually happens. When you cut the onion, a lionase first converts sulfur-containing molecules into highly unstable compounds called sulfenic acids. These molecules don't stick around for long. Almost immediately, LFS steps in and transforms them into a new airborne chemical with a daunting name, syn-propanethial-S-oxide. Fortunately, you don't have to remember the name. Scientists usually call it the lachrymatory factor, which simply means the tear-producing substance. This is the real culprit. Unlike the chemicals trapped inside the onion, the lachrymatory factor is volatile. That means it easily escapes into the air. Within moments of slicing, invisible clouds begin drifting upward from the freshly cut surface. You can't see them. You usually can't smell them before they reach you, but your eyes notice them immediately. The surface of your eye is covered with extremely sensitive nerve endings designed to detect irritation. Their job is simple. If something potentially harmful touches the eye, react fast. As soon as the lachrymatory factor lands on the moist surface of your eye, those nerves send an urgent message to your brain. The brain doesn't stop to investigate whether the chemical is truly dangerous. It assumes the safest option is to remove it as quickly as possible. So it activates your tear glands.
The tears aren't caused by sadness. They're not even caused by pain itself. They're a built-in washing system. Your eyes flood themselves with liquid, hoping to dilute the irritating chemical and flush it away before any damage can occur. It's one of the fastest protective reflexes your body has. In other words, you're not crying because the onion defeated you. You're crying because your eyes are doing exactly what evolution designed them to do. That raises another fascinating question. Why would the onion produce such an elaborate defense in the first place? Unlike animals, plants can't run away from danger. They can't hide from insects or escape hungry grazing animals nearby. Their survival depends on chemistry. When an onion is growing safely underground, its defensive ingredients stay separated inside intact cells. But if something bites into it, or if a knife slices through it, that damage instantly triggers the chemical reactions. Instead of fighting with claws or teeth, the onion fights with molecules. The tear-producing system is widely believed to have evolved as a defense against insects, grazing animals, and even certain microbes, although scientists are still studying exactly which evolutionary pressures shaped it. Whatever the original reason, the system works surprisingly well. And here's the twist. The very same sulfur chemistry that irritates your eyes also creates much of the onion's rich flavor. Without those sulfur compounds, onions would taste far milder and far less interesting. That's why sweet onions don't just taste sweeter because they contain more sugar. They also produce lower amounts of the pungent sulfur chemistry that gives ordinary onions both their bite and much of their tear-inducing power. Less defensive chemistry often means fewer tears. It also means a gentler flavor. Garlic, meanwhile, belongs to the same plant family and uses similar sulfur-based chemistry, but its reactions follow a different pathway, producing compounds responsible for garlic's distinctive aroma instead of the lachrymatory factor. That's why crushing garlic fills the kitchen with smell, but rarely makes your eyes water. Even the way you cut an onion changes what happens. You may have heard people recommend freezing onions, wearing goggles, or lighting candles nearby. Some of these tricks have little scientific support, but one surprisingly simple tip actually makes sense. Use a sharp knife. Recent experiments using high-speed imaging have shown that dull blades crush and tear onion tissue instead of slicing cleanly through it. That rough damage sends more tiny droplets and airborne chemicals into the air, increasing your exposure. A sharper knife causes less destruction. It won't eliminate tears completely, but it can reduce how much of the irritating chemical escapes. Scientists have even gone a step further. Plant breeders have developed onion varieties, including one called sunions, that naturally produce much lower levels of the lachrymatory factor after selective breeding. The goal wasn't to remove onion flavor entirely, but to reduce the eye irritation while keeping much of what people enjoy about eating onions. Finding the perfect balance between flavor and fewer tears is still an ongoing challenge because those two qualities are closely connected by the same chemistry. So the next time your eyes begin watering over a chopping board, you're witnessing something far more sophisticated than an annoying kitchen inconvenience. With a single slice, you've triggered millions of microscopic reactions inside a plant that spent millions of years evolving ways to protect itself. Invisible molecules race into the air. Sensitive nerves instantly sound the alarm. Your brain launches a defensive reflex before you're even fully aware of what's happening. All of it unfolds in just a few seconds. It's easy to think of an onion as one of the simplest ingredients in the kitchen, But hidden beneath those familiar layers is an elegant biochemical system shaped by evolution, refined by chemistry, and answered by the remarkable defenses of the human body. The tears on your face aren't proof that onions are stronger than you. They're a quiet reminder that even the ordinary moments can reveal extraordinary science hiding in simple sight.